Newly released police radio recordings from the Parkland massacre appear to show more failures by Broward County police as they responded to the attack. Fox correspondent Matt Finn has been breaking news on this story for days now. He joins us with what he's got. Hey, Matt.
Tucker, we know that every officer that responded to the Parkland, Florida shooting was potentially risking their lives, and there are many stories of heroism emerging from that day. However, newly released dispatch recordings seem to confirm what we have been reporting right here on this show, and that is that the commanding officer and some of the first responders focused on blocking traffic and setting up a perimeter instead of rushing in to kill the shooter, which is what they're trained to do. One ranking officer tells Fox News tonight that the responders that day should have said, "You take the first floor, I'll take the second, you take the third, and we won't stop until we kill the shooter." In a portion of the audio you are about to hear, a male voice believed to be the disgraced school resource officer identifies what school building he thinks the shots are coming from and then commands officers to stay away from that building. Noteworthy that this goes against his initial statement that he didn't go in the school because he didn't know where the shots were coming from. You're also going to hear a female voice of the commanding officer. Her two audible commands about a perimeter, not killing the shooter. And the sheriff's office has defended itself, explaining that the alleged bad commands happened after the shooter stopped firing. But as you're about to hear, it seems officers did not know where the shooter was for a long time after the officers prioritized the traffic, with one officer even saying that there might be more bullets coming from a window. Here's some of the audio recordings.
Shutting down east on Holmberg. We need somebody to shut down Holmberg. Do not approach the 12 or 1300 buildings. Stay at least 500 feet away at this point.
I know there's a lot going on. Do we have the perimeter set up right now and everybody clearing out of the school? I want to make sure that we have a perimeter set up and the school's being, all the kids are getting out, so we need to shut down around the school.
Is he still shooting?
54. We're trying to locate. We don't know where he's at. We got gunshot holes either coming into or out of that building on the west side, third floor.
One ranking law enforcement officer that just listened to the audio we did sent a response to Fox News, writing in part, "Wow, I just listened to the first 10 minutes of the dispatch tapes. It was very difficult to listen to. We failed in many ways. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep tonight." Also, here is one parent who tonight tells Fox News the entire community of Parkland parents are irate.
Lives were being lost while the deputies who were on site were more concerned about closing off roadways than they were about going into the building and stopping the shooter and saving lives.
Today, Florida's Republican Governor Rick Scott approved new legislation that would require anyone purchasing a gun in the state to be 21 years old, and the NRA immediately filed a lawsuit. Tucker.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Jeff Morano is the president of the Broward County Police Benevolent Association, and he joins us tonight. Jeff, thanks a lot for coming on. You heard Matt Finn read the email he received from an officer, you probably know the person, saying he was in effect heartbroken to hear that tape. What was your reaction to it?
Well, I listened to the tapes, and I'm also in receipt of a chronology of events that came out from the Broward Sheriff's Office with 4 different sources: the video, Coral Springs Fire, Coral Springs Police, and BSO Dispatch.
How did this happen? I don't understand how authorities with firearms on the scene never entered the building while people were being murdered. Do you?
No, I can't explain that.
Can you guess as to what might have happened? Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, I haven't, and I just don't understand where the one video has the school resource deputy at the administration building, then heading towards Building 12, and then taking up a position outside of Building 12. That's on the chronology of events, and it's also on the video.
But it seems like at least some of these guys knew that there was shooting inside the building. So, you don't want to impugn people's motives, but other than cowardice, what would be the explanation for that?
Well, I don't have an explanation for that person not going in. However, I could tell you that the Coral Springs Police Department, they were getting all the 911 calls were going to Coral Springs Fire. So if you're in the city of Parkland and you dial 911, it goes to Coral Springs Fire Dispatch, because they provide fire services and emergency services for the city of Parkland. So all the live intel was going to the Coral Springs police officers. And the chronology that I have shows that Coral Springs and Broward Sheriff's officers simultaneously entered the structure and started to clear it.
Do you think it's a little weird that the sheriff of Broward County, now that we know that his department failed, is telling me that I need to surrender my gun rights? That's the lesson?
I'm sorry. I'll say that again. I'm sorry.
Why isn't the sheriff of Broward County being held accountable for this?
I can't answer that. I would say that, the buck stops at the top, but I can't answer for the sheriff.
Yeah, well, I hope he is. Thank you very much for joining us.
Very welcome.